I just saw Ghostbusters Afterlife, and now that we have 4 Ghostbusters movies, it's time to rank all of them from worst to best. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Gabriel and I love to rank movies. If you can relate, consider hitting that subscribe button. And please know that this list is just my opinion, but I would love to see yours down in the comment section. But with that said, let's get started. Easily in last place is Ghostbusters Answer the Call. The 1984 Ghostbusters was such an original comedy with a great concept. But then this movie just feels so bland and generic. I think it's so sad that all of the actual comedians in this movie aren't even funny. And then Chris Hemsworth, the normal actor that he is cracking these hilarious jokes. The ladies can be funny at times, but throughout the entire movie, it felt like they were always trying to outdo each other with the jokes. And it's not always funny. I pretty much hate every single character except Kevin, and I blame the script for almost all of my problems with this. I just wish it was more fresh, but it's an unfunny comedy with a talented cast that doesn't do a good job because of that terrible script. Number 3 is Ghostbusters 2. Most of the usual sequel faults are in Ghostbusters 2. There's barely any character development, and it rehashes the same old sequences we saw in the first movie, such as the Statue of Liberty walking at the end, ripping off the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man at the end of the first. The main cast all return, but the storyline is too similar yet forgettable. I'm not a huge fan of the Pink Ooze, and I definitely do not like Vigo the Carpathian and Dr. Poha. However, I do really like that this movie has more thrills than the first, especially in the tunnel scene. I'm just really mixed on this because it's entertaining, but I wouldn't call it good. My runner-up is Ghostbusters Afterlife. Ghostbusters Afterlife is the best Ghostbusters sequel that we could have gotten. It's a love letter to die-hard fans of the franchise, and it does fan service right. Every reference and homage to the original was so fun and got me so excited. Seeing the original Ghostbusters return was awesome, and the best part of this film was that amazing ending. It didn't hit me in the feels as much as I expected it would, but it was still pretty emotional, and they paid their respects to the late great Harold Ramis greatly. The cinematography was surprisingly really great. I expected it to be good, but some of the shots were really interesting to look at. I really loved all of the characters as well, excluding the mom. All of them were funny and likable, once again excluding the mom. She wasn't bad, but she was the stereotypical mother. I feel like Finn Wolfhard was extremely underused. I liked his character, but the script didn't give him much to do. McKenna Grace was easily the standout of the new Ghostbusters. Paul Rudd isn't a Ghostbuster because she gave a performance so much like Harold Ramis's in the original. You definitely could see the relation between the characters by the way McKenna Grace acted. The musical score was also carried over from the 1984 film. I loved hearing the pieces of music from that movie in this one, and they were utilized very well. It's so cool to know that Ivan Reitman's son, Jason Reitman, directed this movie, and Ivan Reitman was by his side the entire time. It definitely shows, and this movie has the same charm as the original. It's definitely more of an intense movie than the first, but the way it portrays the ghosts is reminiscent of the original. This is just one of the greatest films of 2021 so far, and going to become a classic just like the original did. But in first place is the original Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is one of the best 80s classics. I used to think it was a masterpiece, but it wasn't quite as good when I recently rewatched it. However, I still absolutely love this film. Bill Murray gives my favorite performance of his in this, and this is easily his most memorable for me. His improv works so well, and even though I don't really laugh at this movie anymore after seeing it 4 times, it's still really funny. Every character is so great, and I love all of the performances. The cast is perfect, and I couldn't imagine this movie without Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis, and Sigourney Weaver. The concept is also unbelievably original, and I would love to see this film when it first came out. The visuals don't really work now, but they're still impressive for the time, and the practical effects look awesome. Overall, just one of the most iconic movies from the 80s, and one of the best Halloween movies.